Chris Dailey here at Count Basie Park alongside Cheyenne Foster from Btwncleansheets on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and just about every single social media. Cheyenne, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I am chronically online, so you could probably find me just about anywhere.
Yeah, well, we're so happy to have you here in Red Bank. It's a great setup that we have, and we know you've, of course, been traveling the country for the past year and a half, 2 years now, in your van. You're living the van life, watching all of these soccer games. But I would love if you could take us back to when you were a kid and your introduction to soccer and how you fell in love with the sport.
Oh, heavens. Great question. I was a very active kid, so I played every single sport and had no idea that the Women's World Cup was happening in '99. I was living in Southern California, so that should tell you, it was crazy. I just don't think it was talked about enough. But when I got to high school, I was looking for something with a little bit more adrenaline, and I loved to run, but I didn't love to just run. So cut out softball, golf, cross country, track, and just stuck with soccer, and then ended up playing D3 at a very small women's college. And it wasn't until after I graduated that I got into the fandom of it all. But playing, yeah, I've been playing forever.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome. So you go to college. After those 4 years at Wesleyan, were you thinking to stay in the soccer industry, or what was your mindset like at that time after you graduated?
I specifically chose a D3 school because I knew what I wanted to do professionally was probably not going to be playing. And it didn't even occur to me that I could get a job in and around the sport. Of course, that program it wasn't offered at Wesleyan anyway. So I ended up majoring in international relations and French with a minor in classical piano, which is crazy. And then went to DC and worked in politics. But it was at DC that I realized, oh, they have an MLS team. There's teams that come and play here that I really like watching. The Washington Spirit are there, so I supported them. And I got not tired of that scene, but I got curious for other soccer scenes, and so I traveled to see DC United on the road a lot, and that's how I really fell in love with the sport.
Yeah, and you were there for the Wayne Rooney days and all the magic.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Which was wild, because I remember liking him when he was with Manchester United and never expecting that he would come. And I don't think he made a huge difference, other than it was just cool to see him in person, but yeah, wild time.
Yeah, well, every year you see the clip of him, of course, making the slide tackle and then putting in the ball. So I actually just saw that this morning, which is funny you mentioned that when I was eating breakfast. And yeah, I mean, he's one of the best to ever do it, which is really cool. But you mentioned you're in politics and you're in that DC sphere, so to say. When was it that you decided, hey, I want to do the van life, I want to just do this radical change, go across the country, and what inspired that shift as well?
I would say it was an existential crisis more than anything. And when I chose to buy and import a van from Japan, I wasn't really thinking of it from the content perspective so much as I was really trying to, I describe it as reclaiming my humanity. DC is really hard, really hard place to be no matter what side of the aisle you're on right now. And I think living in a suitcase and living in hotels, working on campaigns for as many years as I did, and being at the federal level where I thought that I was representing or working on behalf of the people, but I wasn't really meeting the people. And even on campaigns, I wasn't meeting people the way I wanted to. I thought, you know what? I've been escaping on the weekends to go watch soccer. So why don't I just do that every day? So the content has kind of come a little bit second or third to the rest of my reclamation of humanity, but I'm starting to pick up and I'm starting to show up to places like Red Bank, starting to go to a bunch of NPSL, WPSL games. I'm casting a wide net. So yeah. I'm going to watch soccer at literally every level. I think last year I went to the Big 12 Women's Soccer Championship in Kansas City just because I was there. And it was great. Yeah. I loved it. I've had a great time almost everywhere I've gone.
That's awesome. I saw one video of you too where you were just yelling things in the game, which I laughed at. It's really funny. And some of the content you've been making has been fantastic.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that today. Yes, it was a game where there were 4 other people there, and I'm pretty sure they were all related to players. So I thought, you know what? I'm coming to get a vibe check for the fan base. And when there is no fan base, I can recognize the value of the game being played because these guys are working on what they've practiced, being scouted and recruited, and are just playing what they love. So it's okay if maybe people aren't there watching. But I thought I came for the fan POV, and I'm going to make it my own. So yeah, I was yelling a couple things. It felt like exposure therapy because, surprise, surprise, I'm pretty introverted. But there were a couple players that were like, what? Who's talking? And I was like, it's me. You've never met me before. You'll never know me. A couple of them slid into my DMs, though, because I had taken great video of the game. Yeah. And they're like, wait, I would love that for my highlight reel. And I thought, oh, I should do this. I should just take videos of plays for these guys who don't have someone doing that for them. So.
And now you got another business as well to worry about with that, pretty much.
Do you want it vertical or horizontal? I got you.
Yeah, I know hamburger, hot dog, but hey, whatever you want to say.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
But yeah, so of course you go around the country, and I think this is the age-old question you're going to get going place to place. What has been the coolest, or just maybe the most surprising place that you've been that you've really enjoyed on your journey thus far?
Oh heavens. My recent tour through New England, I took the ferry to Halifax. There is a brand new, it's called the Northern Super League. It's a brand new women's professional league in Canada, and they share a stadium with a men's Canadian Premier League team. So it's not like they were building from scratch, but to go there and to see this small stadium nestled among some really beautiful parts of the city, and to have people come out and be really welcoming and understanding of my journey, and also give me really great recommendations. I think those, if I'm closing my eyes and envisioning the experience, I'm like, that's the kind of experience I want to show up to every day. It's small, but it's local. You can feel the community there. The CEO of the team is literally a veterinarian. She runs her own vet practice and runs the team. So I think the context for those kind of games, Portland Hearts of Pine, a League One team that just started, that was an insane scene. Any place that has a really great community tie is doing a good job of reflecting the community and what they're presenting in the soccer space. I've really enjoyed. So
that's awesome, and I love the Portland videos. Just seeing all those fans go crazy, it's surreal. And then Vermont Green as well, what they built up there,
which I went to.
Oh wow, okay,
I was so impressed.
That's on my bucket list.
You have to.
Yeah.
What's crazy is both of those games. I'd gone to 2 Vermont Green games and 1 Portland game. All 3 of those games were sold out.
Yeah.
So I had to finagle tickets. Portland, I paid for my ticket, which sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I like to support with my own money, but other times showing up for content, it's nice to have the ticket. For Portland Hearts of Pine, I think I spent over $100 for a League One team.
Yeah.
Is that not the craziest?
And the thing is, there's thousands of people, so they're building a good business. It's sustainable, and it's really cool to see, because 20 years from now, you can only imagine where they're going to be at.
With promotion relegation.
Yeah, exactly.
You never know.
It's
you really
exciting.
never know. So, yeah, it's been great.
Awesome. Well, I have 5 rapid-fire questions for you to finish off here.
Let me roll up my sleeves. The sleeves y'all gave me, by the way. Thank you so much.
Nice jersey.
I love it. This is my first WPSL jersey. My very first. So.
Now, of course, you've been around the country, of course. I'm sure you haven't been to all 50 states yet. So what is one state that you haven't been to that you want to visit?
Ooh, on the road trip or just in general? Because I have been to all 50 states except for Hawaii.
Oh, wow. Okay. So
I am very well traveled, I will say that.
Hawaii's the answer. On the road trip, any state that you want to go to watch soccer?
Oh, Wisconsin. I want to see Forward Madison.
Yeah. And you got some cool jerseys as well, speaking of jerseys.
Yeah.
And now any countries that are on your bucket list, both maybe for soccer and just in general?
Japan.
Go-to snack on the road?
Oh, heavens. Nuts. Any kind of nuts. Trail mix, you name it. Those sesame seed covered nuts, almonds, I think, that you get from Trader Joe's. I've spilled plenty of sesame seed crumbs all over.
And now, so you've, of course, been everywhere. As you talk about Maine, I know they're known for lobster. I can only imagine going there, eating the seafood. What's been the best food sourced right from the spot, local food that you've eaten on this road trip?
I would say any taco stand I hit in Los Angeles last year.
Interesting.
You really cannot go wrong. And by the way, the taco stands that hang out outside of the stadium for LAFC, phenomenal. You're watching them being made. They're right there. You're ready to go. And it's authentic, and it's easy. Yeah. Any handheld anything I can walk with, anything I can drive with, I'm like, that's good for me. So
yeah, and the last question of the day, I know you went to a Sporting KC game at Arrowhead, Leo Messi, and they won, so I feel like I might have given you the answer here, but from a pure sporting perspective, what's been the best game you've attended on the road trip?
Oh, man. I know this is rapid fire, but I feel like last year's final, the NWSL final with Washington Spirit and Orlando Pride. Unfortunately, Spirit didn't win, but I was so excited to see my friends on the road in a situation that I was not expecting. I don't meet up with friends on the road very often. I make friends on the road. So to go to a game like that and to show up in a supporter section and have them all there, I was like, oh, this feels nice. I feel like I can relax. I don't have to put myself out there so much. So, although that game at Arrowhead was fantastic. Another Kansas City game.
I saw your clips of that, and I'm just like, wow. And those fans look like European, massive game fans in Italy, something you would see. So
Kansas City deserves their World Cup host experience or opportunity. Their bid was amazing. The city's amazing. I highly recommend if you had to pick some city to go to that gets you out of this part of the country for the World Cup, definitely do Kansas City. Yeah,
and I know the investments they put into women's soccer as well has been huge. Massive in the United States. So that's very cool. But Sinead, thank you so much for your time, and thanks for coming out to FC Monmouth to watch both our women's team and our men's team later tonight in their final home game here in the league for clubs. Chris Dailey from FC Monmouth signing off. Thanks for watching, everybody.